So as you guys know, everybody went to Fanatic Fest this week, right? Everybody. It seems like everybody went there. Active players, non-active players, like everybody was there. But apparently, Dennis Rodman, MJ's former Chicago Bulls teammate, also attended Fanatics Fest. Excuse me. And during his visit, he made some comments, and we got the video for y'all, where I was like, okay, now this disrespect is getting out of hand. Like the way LeBron always gets disrespected by players is just out of control right now.
The nonstop debate around LeBron James just took another huge turn after a moment that quickly spread across basketball fans online. While plenty of people still describe LeBron as one of the toughest players to defend, one of the greatest defenders in NBA history shared a very different opinion, and it instantly grabbed everyone's attention. We need to break down everything that happened before the conversation gets completely buried by the next big headline. Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Do you think Dennis Rodman could have made life extremely difficult for LeBron James in a one-on-one matchup, or do you see it differently?
So this is the post, and I'm gonna play the audio for y'all. It says, Dennis Rodman says LeBron James is probably the easiest guy he'd guard in his life. What? The easiest guy he'd guard in his life?
The buzz started at Fanatics Fest, where some of the biggest names in basketball came together. Active stars, retired legends, analysts, and media personalities all packed the event, making it one of the most talked about basketball weekends of the year. One of the biggest moments came when Dennis Rodman, Michael Jordan's former Chicago Bulls teammate and one of the greatest defenders ever, stepped onto the stage. During a Q&A session, Rodman was asked how he thought he would match up against LeBron James in a hypothetical game. His answer immediately sparked debate across social media.
LeBron's probably the easiest guy I ever guarded in my life. I'll put it to that. I ain't lying. He's the easiest guy I can guard. All I think he has obedience probably to his size. He's like 6'10", or 6'6", and stuff like that. But that don't mean anything. I'll make him go left all day long. I'll make him shoot that damn jump shot, but he ain't worth shit. So, but I love LeBron. LeBron's done great things in this world, man. I love LeBron. He's a great player.
Rodman looked at the crowd and confidently said that, in his opinion, LeBron James would have been one of the easier assignments for him to defend. He even laughed as he explained that he would simply force LeBron to drive left and encourage him to rely on outside jump shots. The audience reacted instantly, and the clip quickly became one of the biggest talking points from the event.
Yo, did y'all hear what Dennis Rodman was saying just now? He said LeBron James would be the easiest guy I ever guarded. I would just force him to go left and force him to make a jump shot, which he can't shoot for shit.
One of the most interesting parts of the video comes just seconds later. After giving his honest basketball opinion, Rodman seemed to realize how strong his comments sounded in front of a live audience. Almost immediately, he shifted gears and added, "But I love LeBron. He has done great things for the world. He is a great player." That contrast caught a lot of people's attention. Many viewers felt the first response reflected Rodman's true basketball evaluation, while the follow-up showed respect for LeBron's career and accomplishments.
Did y'all just hear the disrespect out of Dennis Rodman's mouth? This is crazy. Somebody said Rodman has no... Exactly. Dennis Rodman has no filter. And if you notice, at the end, he kind of caught himself and then went back into the playbook like most NBA players do when they kind of give each other props. So let me play it for y'all again and notice how he catches himself at the end like, oh, snap, I wasn't supposed to say that. Like, that's taking it a little bit too far. And then he comes back and goes, oh, but I love LeBron. LeBron is great. So watch, pay attention to the end of it.
LeBron's probably the easiest guy I ever guarded in my life. I'll put it to that. I ain't lying. He's the easiest guy I can guard. I don't think he has obedience probably.
Either way, the exchange became one of the most replayed moments from the event. What makes this even more interesting is that this isn't the first time Rodman has shared a similar opinion. Older interview clips have also resurfaced online where he discussed the exact same topic and explained in greater detail why he believed he would match up well against LeBron. In those earlier interviews, Rodman argued that LeBron's offensive style was relatively straightforward compared to some of the most skilled scorers he defended during his career. He suggested that LeBron relies heavily on his strength, speed, and physical tools, rather than a deep collection of post moves or advanced footwork. Rodman even mentioned that his former teammate Scottie Pippen would have been capable of making things very difficult before Rodman ever needed to switch on to him. Rodman also shared his opinion that today's NBA creates more space and different offensive opportunities than the era he played in. He pointed to LeBron's combination of size, power, and athleticism as major advantages, while suggesting that those physical traits are a huge part of what makes him so effective. Those comments immediately divided basketball fans everywhere. Now it's important to separate opinion from fact. Rodman was never saying that LeBron James isn't an all-time great player or that he can't score against NBA defenses. LeBron is the league's all-time leading scorer, and his accomplishments speak for themselves. Instead, Rodman appeared to be talking about one very specific situation, a one-on-one matchup with no screens, no defensive switches, no double teams, and no coaching adjustments to create favorable matchups. Looking strictly at that scenario, many LeBron supporters argue that his size and strength would allow him to overpower Rodman near the basket. On the other hand, people who watched Rodman throughout his career point out that he built his reputation by frustrating bigger, stronger opponents through positioning, timing, relentless energy, and elite defensive instincts. That's exactly why this debate continues to generate so much attention. Another major point in the discussion centers on LeBron's post-game. While he has certainly scored plenty of baskets with his back to the rim throughout his career, critics argue that his style depends more on strength and athleticism than on highly technical footwork. They often compare that approach to players like Kobe Bryant or Hakeem Olajuwon, who were widely praised for their polished moves around the basket. Supporters, however, would argue that effectiveness matters just as much as style, which is one reason this conversation never seems to end. And that's really where Rodman's comments landed. His opinion wasn't presented as an attack on LeBron's legacy, but as his own belief based on the type of defender he was and the matchups he experienced during his Hall of Fame career. Whether you agree with him or completely disagree, one thing is certain: the moment got basketball fans talking in a big way, and the debate isn't slowing down anytime soon. Dennis Rodman built his reputation by taking on some of the most powerful players the NBA has ever seen. One of the biggest examples was his battles with Shaquille O'Neal during Shaq's prime years. If you go back and watch those classic matchups between the Bulls and teams like the Orlando Magic or Los Angeles Lakers, you'll see Rodman constantly battling one of the most physically dominant players in basketball history. Shaq would use every bit of his size and strength to fight for deep position near the basket, but Rodman kept battling possession after possession. Even though there was a huge size difference, Rodman's balance, leverage, timing, and non-stop effort allowed him to make life much tougher than many people expected. That's exactly why many fans still consider him one of the greatest defenders the game has ever produced. Because of that history, some people believe Rodman would also have been able to hold his own against LeBron James in physical situations. The argument is simple. If Rodman could compete against players as powerful as Shaq, they believe LeBron wouldn't simply overpower him in every possession. Whether that's true or not is open to debate, but it's one of the biggest reasons Rodman's comments created so much discussion. If Rodman could keep LeBron from getting comfortable near the basket, then the matchup would likely shift toward the perimeter. That's where Rodman explained his approach during Fanatics Fest. He said he would consistently encourage LeBron to attack left while challenging him to rely on outside jump shots. It was a strategy that immediately got basketball fans arguing across every social media platform. Supporters of Rodman's opinion also point to several playoff series where opposing defenses used similar ideas. One example often mentioned is the 2011 NBA Finals, when the Dallas Mavericks defeated the Miami Heat in one of the biggest final surprises ever. Former Maverick Brendan Haywood has discussed how Dallas wanted to limit LeBron's drives and make him settle for more perimeter shots whenever possible. Their defensive approach focused on shrinking the paint and making every trip to the rim as difficult as they could. Another example frequently brought up is the 2007 NBA Finals against the San Antonio Spurs. Throughout that series, San Antonio often gave LeBron extra space on the perimeter while focusing on protecting the lane and limiting easy baskets near the rim. Basketball fans still debate how much that strategy affected the outcome. but it remains one of the most discussed defensive game plans against LeBron's early career. Then there's another moment that people love bringing back whenever this conversation comes up. During an NBA All-Star game, Kobe Bryant accepted the challenge of defending LeBron one-on-one during the closing moments. At that point, Kobe was already well into his career, while LeBron was considered one of the league's most dominant athletes and was in the middle of his Miami Heat run. As the possession unfolded, Kobe stayed attached on defense and refused to give LeBron an easy path to the basket. LeBron eventually called for a screen, something that's completely normal within NBA offense. But many fans later used that moment to argue that even elite defenders could disrupt his rhythm when they stayed aggressive. Kobe fought through the action and eventually blocked the jump shot from behind, creating one of the most replayed highlights from that exhibition game. That sequence has remained part of basketball debates for years. Some fans see it as proof of Kobe's incredible defensive instincts, while others point out that an all-star game is very different from a playoff matchup. Either way, the clip continues to generate strong opinions every time it's shared online. Another name that often enters this discussion is Jonathan Simmons. Before reaching the NBA, Simmons took one of the toughest paths imaginable. He reportedly paid around $150 to attend an open tryout for the Austin Spurs in the G League after working regular jobs while chasing his basketball dream. His journey from overlooked prospect to NBA player became one of the league's best underdog stories. When Simmons eventually matched up against LeBron, one defensive possession caught everyone's attention online. Simmons applied relentless ball pressure from the perimeter, stayed in front of the play, and forced a turnover without needing immediate help from another defender. The clip spread quickly because people were impressed by Simmons' effort and determination against one of basketball's biggest stars. Supporters of Rodman's comments often point to moments like that and argue they show what relentless defensive pressure can do, even against an all-time great player. Others believe those isolated possessions don't define an entire career and shouldn't outweigh LeBron's long list of accomplishments. That's what keeps this debate alive year after year. Whether someone agrees with Rodman's opinion or completely rejects it, one thing is impossible to deny. His comments reopened one of basketball's biggest what-if discussions, and fans everywhere are still arguing over how a prime Dennis Rodman versus a prime LeBron James matchup would actually play out. That's exactly why Rodman's comments have created such a huge conversation across the basketball world. Whether people agree with him or completely disagree, one thing is clear. His opinion has brought the spotlight back to a debate that fans have argued about for years. Instead of focusing only on stats and awards, people are once again talking about playing styles, defensive matchups, and how stars from different eras would actually perform against each other. At the same time, another storyline has been making headlines. Reports from veteran NBA insiders suggested there was speculation about the Philadelphia 76ers potentially being linked to LeBron James. Those reports also pointed out that such a move appeared unlikely for several reasons, including family considerations and the life LeBron has built in Southern California. That immediately sparked another wave of debate among fans. Some people believe that family stability should always come first, especially after spending more than 2 decades in the NBA. Others argue that if chasing another championship is the biggest priority, then relocating for the right basketball situation could make sense. There are strong opinions on both sides, and that's why conversations like this continue to dominate sports media. Professional athletes make difficult decisions all the time. Some choose to move to new cities in search of a better chance to win, while others place more value on keeping their families settled and maintaining stability off the court. Every player's situation is different, and only they truly know what factors matter most when making those choices. The bigger point is that discussions around LeBron today often go far beyond what happens during games. Fans debate his legacy, his career decisions, his leadership, his statistics, and how his style compares with legends from previous generations. It's one of the reasons every comment from former players quickly turns into a major headline. That's exactly what happened with Dennis Rodman. He stepped on stage, gave his honest basketball opinion based on his own experience as one of the greatest defenders ever, and instantly had the entire basketball community talking. Some fans believe his defensive style would have matched up extremely well against LeBron, while others think LeBron's talent and versatility would have found a way to overcome that challenge. Since we'll never actually see that matchup happen, it's a debate that will probably never have a final answer. No matter which side you're on, these conversations are what make basketball so much fun. Different eras, different rules, different styles, and different opinions will always keep fans arguing. And that's part of what makes the game so great. Now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Dennis Rodman is right about how he would defend LeBron James, or do you think LeBron would have found a way to dominate the matchup? I want to hear your take. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with another basketball fan so they can join the debate too. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.